So leveling up the Battle Pass in Vanguard and Warzone can be a really long and boring journey, but in this video I'm going to show you how to make it as quick and easy as possible for the second season of Vanguard and Warzone. Just before we get into the video, I'm doing a giveaway for when I hit 30,000 subscribers for over 2,000 COD points, which if you won you could use towards tiers, buying the Battle Pass, in-store items, that kind of thing. The rules are in the description, but all you need to do is like the video, comment your Twitter username below this video, subscribe to my channel, and follow me on Twitter. My username is RagerGamer and the link for that is in the description. If you do those 4 things, you'll be entered, and once I hit 30,000 subscribers, I'll choose someone to win the COD points. Now this video provides every single way to level up tiers faster in Season 2 of Vanguard and Warzone, so be sure to stay tuned until the end of the video as it's packed full of tips. But if you want to jump to a specific part of the video, there are timestamps in the description. The summary very quickly is that the main ways to tier up faster include the time played, the XP earned, double Battle Pass XP tokens and weekends, earning COD points, and using tier skips. Now, Vanguard and Warzone became integrated at the end of the year in December, and basically this means that Battle Pass content is linked between Warzone and Vanguard only, i.e. you can use or unlock the stuff in both games, but you can still level up tiers if you play Modern Warfare or Cold War, but unfortunately you have to actually play Warzone or Vanguard to use the Battle Pass items. So you can play any of Modern Warfare, Cold War, Warzone and Vanguard to level up the Battle Pass, but you can only use the items in Vanguard or Warzone. So first we're going to be talking about boosts to speed up Battle Pass progression, and then we'll talk about the best ways in Vanguard and Warzone. So for boosts, the main ones are obviously tier skips. First of all, every 50 levels in Season 2, so level 50 will give you 1 tier skip, level 100 will give you a 2nd tier skip, and so on. So the more you level up and the higher your rank and the more procedures you get, the more tier skips you earn, which you can use towards the Battle Pass. So feel free to check out my guide on how to level up fast if you're struggling with that. There are other ways to get tier skips too, so for example buying certain bundles, or alternatively there were occasionally free gift bundles in the store for Cold War that gave tier skips, so look out for a free gift in the For You section of the store in Vanguard or Warzone, and you want to keep an eye out for special events like double tier progression, which normally comes at least twice a season. But just so you guys know, double XP itself doesn't count, so double XP weekends and double XP tokens, they don't count. It's only double Battle Pass XP that counts. A lot of people get hung up on that, so don't fall into that trap of wasting double XP tokens. Obviously also earning COD points from the Battle Pass can be used to buy tiers if needed. Alternatively, if you enter my giveaway and you win, you could also use those COD points as well to do it for free. So let's start with the best method for Vanguard in multiplayer, then we'll move on to zombies, and finally we'll move on to Warzone and then kind of other games as well. So for all games, the most important factor is obviously the time played, so longer matches is more efficient because you're spending more time in the game playing, which counts, whereas the time to load into the match or in the lobby, that doesn't count, and therefore longer matches are more efficient, and it's better off for doing it this way rather than having lots of shorter matches. Alongside this, you obviously need to be doing well in these matches and earn more XP, because XP is a less important factor, but it's still important for leveling up your Battle Pass. So time played first and then XP second, but obviously you've got to try and tie those two together if you can. So Shipment or Das House 24/7 or any other kind of mosh pit playlist with new DLC maps like Radar or any of the new ones in Season 2 if they're good, those are always good modes to play. If there's no good 24/7 matches, then you can play longer games with objectives or high XP, so for example Domination, Patrol, Champion Hill. I'd always recommend playing hardcore modes of that if you can, so for example Hardcore Shipment or Das House 24/7. And another thing just to note is that the decoy grenade is really good for getting XP, and if you throw 1 or 2 every time you spawn, and basically if an enemy nearby to it dies, you get XP and an assist because they died after coming into contact with your decoy grenade. So basically it can give you several thousand extra XP at the end of the game just by using these decoy grenades. So every time you spawn in, throw 1 and then go and get the kills you need, as at the end you'll get quite a nice hefty bonus of XP. So that's an important factor to start off with that will help boost the amount of XP. It's just a small thing, but it definitely adds a nice bonus at the end. So in terms of tips for actually doing well to get more XP in multiplayer games, you want to have a good class, and obviously if you need to level up your weapons better to get decent attachments for a good class, feel free to check out my weapon XP guide for Season 2. Also using your kill streaks, equipment and field upgrades as much as possible to either get kills or help you get kills or find enemies, that kind of thing. That all helps again obviously to get more XP. You want to go for the objective as much as possible. I can't stress that enough. It's one of the most important factors because it adds a lot of extra XP. So if you're playing Domination, keep going for the Dom point. That will add a lot of extra XP and it will really help you at the end. So the objective is one of the most important things in multiplayer. You also want to get as many kills as possible obviously, and use the surplus attachment for a 20% XP bonus. You also want to be doing challenges. So for multiplayer challenges, you've got the career challenges, and if you go to the barracks tab, progression, Season 2, seasonal prestige challenges, you'll see those, and each challenge gives you XP, and if and you get bonus XP for completing all 20 prestige challenges in Season 2, so make sure you try and complete them if you can. There's also camo challenges, which are atomic camos. If you need help with that, I've got a playlist, so a card on screen for that or a link in the description with kind of many camo guides and gold gun guides, so feel free to check that out. Also reticle challenges too. There will normally be things like get a certain number of kills while aiming down sight with a weapon or with a certain reticle or optic. And basically you want to overlap these challenges as much as possible to get more XP more quickly. So for example, if there's a career challenge and a similar seasonal prestige challenge, a camo challenge that are all to do with, like, say, getting assault rifle kills or something, then obviously try and get them all done at once, so you're kind of doing a similar challenge once rather than doing them 3 separate times, if that makes sense. So make sure you kind of fulfill the requirements for getting all of the similar challenges done, and that can help to really speed up the process, so definitely make use of that. That's everything kind of for multiplayer. Now let's move on to zombies. So for the Der Anfang map, you want to keep completing objectives. That's the blitz and transmit, which are generally best, and purge and harvest are the worst ones, and you want to complete these objectives as fast as you can. You want to kill all spawn area zombies between objectives, and you want to survive for as long as possible, obviously, so make sure you have pack-a-punch weapons, buying perks and upgrading them, unlocking the altar covenants after each objective, using artifacts to survive as long as possible, and obviously upgrade them as well, and making use of equipment and things like that to kill boss zombies and take cover if they're firing at you, like the Sturmkriegers. You obviously want to get as many critical hit kills, i.e. headshots, as you can, and also medals, so for example rapidly killing 5 zombies in a row, and also killing boss zombies like the Sturmkriegers, as these give you more XP for all of these things just compared to normal zombie kills. So try and do all of that if you can to boost the amount of XP you get. I recommend after you do lots of objectives doing the Void objective, which is basically the Shino Numa unlimited rounds kind of mode, until you get to about maybe sort of round, I don't know, 15, 20, something like that, and at which point you can then return to the spawn area, kill all the remaining zombies and exfil, and that will trigger a final wave of zombies to attack you before running to the portal, and if you do that you'll get a really long game with a decent amount of XP. After a certain point, obviously zombies have a lot more health, rounds take longer, it's more difficult, but that's kind of a sweet spot, I'd say, for match being long enough that it's really efficient, and you've kind of made up for wasting lots of time at the start where it's really slow to get kills and XP and so on, but at the same time you're not surviving too long that it's getting really difficult to kill the zombies and then it's taking a while to finish the round. So kind of a sweet spot, I would say. Do that and then exfil and kind of repeat the process all over again. For Terra Maledicta, which is the brand new zombies map coming for Season 2, it sounds very much like it's quite a disappointing map. It's unfortunately sounds like it's going to be quite a similar strategy to Der Anfang because it's got the same objectives, but obviously I'll make another video if there are any significant changes that make the new map more beneficial or anything like that, but I suspect it'll be the same kind of strategy with the same objectives and so on, but we'll see. Obviously we'll just have to wait and see. And for Zombies 2, you want to be doing the challenges, so these are again the career challenges and also the prestige challenges, the seasonal ones, and each challenge gives XP, and again there's bonus XP for completing all 20 prestige challenges in Season 2. We've also got different camo challenges from multiplayer, which are the dark ether camos and reticle challenges as well. So it's different from multiplayer, so make sure you try and play both modes so that you're getting both camo challenges done, if that makes sense, and obviously trying to overlap these challenges in Zombies 2. And that's it for Vanguard. Now similarly for Warzone, obviously you want to have a longer time played, because the longer the match, the more efficient it is. It's less time in the lobby, more time actually playing the game, so more time earned towards the battle pass. But obviously, of course, like multiplayer, you still need to be doing well in those matches and earning a decent amount of XP. So XP is, again, important, but not quite as important as the time played, but it's still quite an important factor. So for this, you need to have a good class, and again, if you need to level up weapons fast to get better attachments, there's still that weapon XP guide if you guys need. You need to be doing more looting if you can, so opening more loot crates and so on. This is a really important part of it, and one of the most important aspects that we're going to be focused on, especially for plunder, which we'll talk about in a minute. So, more money, which helps you to buy more equipment, self-revives, UAV, loadouts, armor, ammo boxes, that kind of thing, but it also gives you more XP overall, because you get a bigger looting bonus at the end of the game, and that's an important part to getting more XP. So you want to open loot boxes, run over bodies of dead enemies, farm piles of cash as floor loot, so for example on top of roofs or in unsearched rooms in areas of the map that are quite quiet. That's quite good. You want to get as many kills as possible, obviously, so have a decent class, use your minimap, your heartbeat sensor or compass, or any sounds to kind of find more enemies. Do as many contracts as you can, so supply run contracts are super fast and easy, but we've also got the top secret ones, which are pretty good, and also the big game bounty are pretty good too. Those are kind of the two better, higher XP contracts. Recon's also pretty good as well, and so on, but I would say probably the supply run, big game bounty, top secret are kind of the sort of the main ones you want to be going for, and you want to try to go between them fast with a helicopter or an ATV if you are doing lots of contracts. Again, I'll have a guide for contracts on screen, so feel free to check it out. So you want to survive longer too, so you want to be careful and safe, don't run and gun, otherwise you'll be dying too soon, which means a poor amount of tier progression, and surviving longer means that you place higher in a match, which means more XP and time played, which again is faster progression. So you kind of want to survive as long as you can in the match to get more time played. And the placement bonus, so for Warzone BR mode, it's how long you survived overall relative to anyone else, whereas Plunder, it's just the cash collected overall. So it depends on which game mode you're playing. And don't forget, in the pre-game lobby, you want to get as many kills as you can, as this counts towards the XP and weapon XP as well. And also don't forget, you can use the surplus attachment on Vanguard weapons in Warzone for a 20% XP boost, which will help to give you more XP. And also, if you're using the pointsman perk, if you're playing BR or Rebirth in Warzone, you can boost the XP earned from each contract, but that only works, let's say, in BR and Rebirth, not in Plunder. So in terms of which modes are best, I'd say Plunder, in my opinion, is normally one of the better ones, and it's great game mode overall for easy XP. It's a really fast way of leveling up tiers. You know, less than 15 minutes of a Plunder game can give you more than a whole tier of progress if you place well and effectively, which is basically up to 5 tiers an hour, or if you have double battle pass XP, 10 tiers per hour, which is absolutely insane. So this is kind of the strategy you want to go for. So obviously spawn in, quickly find an area with a map with few players but lots of buildings and places to search for loot, so basically something that's quite quiet and out the way from most people, away from the flight path and so on. Your ultimate goal is obviously to get first place by earning as much money as possible, so you want to run around opening as many crates as you can by following the faint humming noise, which indicates how close or where the loot crates are on the map. Obviously, if you need to adjust your sound settings so you can hear that properly, then do so, and feel free to turn down the music so you can hear the loot crate sound a bit better. And you want to keep moving, stay ahead and open as many crates as you can, and if you find a cash deposit balloon, use it so you don't lose the money if you die. You also want to keep an eye out for cash piles on the ground in unsearched areas like rooftops, unvisited rooms and so on, and you want to look for money near dead players and kill as many enemies as possible that you come across to get more cash and more XP, so kind of run over that if you kill anyone. Obviously, you can do a few contracts if you can along the way while opening crates, so for example scavenger contracts, which actually require you to open crates anyway and it shows you where they are, so that's quite a good one. But you can also do other ones like supply runs, top secret, and any bounty ones are decent too, because if you do it and someone kills them, you get a poached, so you still get some XP without actually having to kill the enemy, so it's just useful to kind of pick that up as well. And most wanted is good if you're well equipped and fairly safe, but you know, so if you're in a really quiet area of the map, you could just pick one of those up and complete that while you're looking for loot crates, but you know, it does mark you as a target, so you've got to be aware of that. And you just want to do as much as you can to get the most money, kills, looting, contracts as possible. You want to work with your teammates if they're helpful. Teamwork is really important. I know it sounds quite cringy, but it can help you get, you know, more kills, more contracts done, money earned, XP, that kind of thing. And if you get first place, you get a lot of XP, sometimes in the region of 40 to 50,000 XP or more, so a lot of bonuses and therefore sort of more battle pass progression overall. So that's Plunder. What about Rebirth? So Rebirth is great as it's smaller matches and respawns make doing well easier. Also, you're not wasting your time if you die early on in the game. So the strategy is kind of to spawn in, grab a decent floor gun and any kill streaks or other equipment you may need to survive, try to open a few loot crates and some money, start doing contracts, so for example picking up a helicopter and a supply run contract. You want to do this several times to get some money to buy a loadout. You then want to call in your loadout and pick the class you want, so make sure you have some good classes set up. And you want to keep doing contracts. The more contracts you do, obviously, the bigger the bonus and therefore the more XP. Meanwhile, you want to get as many kills as you can without dying, so you want to try to stay and work with your teammates as this improves the chance of survival. You want to keep looting, killing, doing contracts and prepare for the final circle, so you know, finding or buying a gas mask, getting plenty of ammo and a good class, equipment, self-revive, that kind of thing. You want to head towards the final circle with your teammates and hopefully you get a victory there. But just remember, it's often better to hold down an area and survive than rushing into a gunfight and dying, otherwise you'll lose your equipment and loadout, money, that kind of thing, and you're less likely to survive obviously. And you want to try and be patient to try and resist the temptation to always rush in and ditch your teammates, and you want your loot, contract, combat placement and match bonuses to be as large as possible while surviving as long as you can to get more XP and more time played overall, which again boosts your battle pass progression. Obviously in Warzone you want to be doing challenges too, so the daily ones, you've got the mastery ones, you've got the seasonal progression ones under the challenge tab. Each challenge will give you XP and there's bonus XP from completing all 20 challenges in the season. We've also got camo challenges as well. Again, I'll have playlists for that, you know, card on screen and link in the description. Don't forget that can be for the Vanguard camos. In the future it'll probably be for Vanguard zombies as well. We've got the Cold War, multiplayer and zombie set of camos, and obviously you've got the Modern Warfare ones as well, so there's lots of mastery camos to go for, and all of these will get you more XP in Warzone to help you level up faster. You want to try and overlap all these challenges if you can to get more XP more quickly. So which games are best in Warzone? Generally I'd say Plunder's best, as you get infinite respawns, cash is the main objective, you know, it's easy to find, the longer matches is more time played, and you can still get lots of kills, custom loadout available, etc. And also don't forget that the overtime bonus counts as well in Plunder, so the more money and and stuff you earn after overtime, it means, you know, more XP you earn, so that's really good as well. And also you have your custom loadouts. But Rebirth can be good. It's better than Warzone BR, as you don't risk wasting a lot of time on a game where you die a fair way through without good progress. But the matches are shorter, which means obviously there's more time in the game lobby and less in the game, so it's a little bit less efficient, but if you can do well, it's obviously useful. I think Warzone BR can be good, but unless you're a really good player who's unlikely to die, Plunder's probably the best for you. So most people probably find Plunder the best for going for Battle Pass progression. We're going to quickly talk about the other games as well, Modern Warfare and Cold War, and then we'll talk about which games are best overall. So I think Modern Warfare, obviously, unless it's sort of shipment or anything like that, in multiplayer, it's probably not worth going for, but it's, you know, still can be okay. Cold War can be pretty good for multiplayer, but I think it's fairly consistent for zombies. You know, Zombies Outbreak or the main Zombies round-based maps are pretty good, and they're sort of a more fun way to pass the time, in my opinion. So definitely don't miss out on that. You know, if there's new stuff in the game you want to check it out, definitely go on Cold War and Modern Warfare, because they're still pretty decent if you play sort of Outbreak or round-based maps like Malder Toten or, you know, Forsaken, or even Firebase Sea, I suppose, or sort of multiplayer, you're sort of looking at Fireteam and Nuketown and those kind of maps. Now let's finally talk about which game is best overall. So obviously longer matches are always better than shorter ones if you're getting a decent amount of XP. Therefore very short high XP games can be better than longer ones sometimes, but often not. So generally the best modes in my opinion, so Vanguard multiplayer, you know, Shipment, Das Haus, any other kind of long high XP modes are sort of pretty good. Zombies to high rounds can be good too. Zombies is kind of more consistent, very similar XP, but you don't get quite the same bonuses with the sort of surplus attachment and so on. But yeah, I'll say Zombies is more consistent, you don't have to sweat as much, but multiplayer might be slightly better, but then obviously the game can vary, where sometimes you do worse, sometimes you do better, so it really kind of depends on how you can play multiplayer. And Warzone again is great, it's probably actually just as good if not better than multiplayer, especially if you're surviving for a long time, getting a decent amount of kills or contracts or whatever, or if you're playing Plunder and winning, getting in the sort of top 5, I'd say, to 10 teams, ideally top 5. This will be likely the fastest method, especially if you're collecting a lot of money, you're getting somewhere between 5th and 1st place, you're getting kills, contracts, all of that along the way, and like I say, you can earn up to 10 tiers an hour with double Battle Pass XP, so it's really, really fast, that method. It can actually be better, just depends on how good you are, but if you're not quite as good, multiplayer could be right, and again, if you don't like that, you can always just stick to zombies, so it's kind of up to you, but that's kind of my thoughts on it. That's kind of the fastest ways to level up your tiers in Vanguard and Warzone, and obviously the other games as well. I hope you found it useful. Feel free to check out all of my other guides for Season 2, I've got lots of them coming out, and like I say, feel free to enter the giveaway so that when I hit 30,000 subscribers, I'm going to be giving away over 2,000 COD points to one lucky person, and yeah, feel free to enter that. Feel free to leave a like if you found the video useful, and subscribe if you want to stay up to date with all my latest videos, and clicking the bell icon so that you don't miss out on any upcoming ones. But thank you all so much for watching. I hope you found the video useful, and hopefully Season 2 will be a lot better. Thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you on the next one.